Hi. Hi. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you.
Hi, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Goeiemorgen.
Goedemorgen.
Goeiemorgen.
That must be Renzo.
Friends, you like this?
Yeah,
What's happening with your phone?
Oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Maybe I can fix it.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. Welcome to the
I'm
way
bending reality.
you are.
He's in a different hemisphere, Michelle.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Good morning. How's everybody? How's everybody across the world? You all good? Hello, Trish. Lovely to have you here. Hi, dear.
See you.
Hi,
I don't
Cynthia.
do that.
Hi, Victoria. Hi,
Sylvia.
Shura.
Sylvia's from Australia. Early
Speaker.
bird. Hi, SJ.
Hi, Cash.
Hi, Mike. Hi, Magic Mike.
Hi, Patricia.
Eleanor, Caroline.
Hi, Rhoda, Erica. Oh, so nice to see you. Hi, Val.
I'll see everybody.
Eleanor. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Patricia.
Hello.
Patricia Ann and other Patricia.
Oh,
She's also Patricia Ann.
Patricia's, yeah, exactly. This is awesome. So awesome to see you all. So how are we all feeling in this full moon and this full moon energy that we're going into?
I want to cry. There, my video. Oh, where's my face?
Hi, Trish. Hey, Rainy. Hi. It's so nice to see you. Hi, Lisa.
Hallo,
We got
Michelle.
Lisa's. Hi. Hi. Hoe gaan dit met jou? Ek wil net nou Afrikaans praat, hoor. Oh, it's so lovely to see you. Wow. Hi, Ben. Good morning. Susie, hi. Good morning.
There's Kathy and Cynthia. Hillary.
Alrighty. So welcome, welcome, welcome to a channel story, everybody. And I'm just going to keep admitting everyone as they keep coming in. And I'm Michelle Carpenter. I'm a spiritual medium and channel for the Council of Eight, for those of you who don't know and who are meeting me for the first time. And I'm so incredibly excited to be here with my beautiful friends, Jill and Andrea. And we decided, as we normally do, to do this at the last sort of minute, because we know that this is an important time for humanity. We know that this is an important time for all of us and our connections of coming together and creating whatever magic we can create in these moments. And, you know we're all going through the bumpy roads. But I'd like Jill and Andrea to introduce themselves for those of you who don't know them, please. And can you all just mute yourselves, please? Or actually, I think I can do that. I do this every single time. Mute everybody, hold on. Because we just get back feed, which is not ideal. But Andrea, do you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah. So my name is Andrea Hambuchen. I live in Hawaii. I am a medium and a channel. I work with light codes, and I'm going to share that. But that's kind of right now. I'm what I'm doing, and I'm concentrating on trance healing, which is also channeling.
Awesome. Jilly?
Hi, I'm Jill, and I do clairvoyancy. I do downloads, channeling. I'm an author, and I'm a regression hypnotherapist. So a little bit of everything, and I also do some energetic healing and lots of writing.
Wonderful. And you've just reminded me, I'm a co-author, Jilly, everyone. So there's an amazing book that's coming out this week on Amazon called The Beings, and it's from authors all over the world sharing their stories about connection and how they have connected with many different beings. So thank you for all of us being here today, and thank you for supporting us. We're all in this together. So I wanted to just share a little bit about, and I'm not great with astrology, so I'm reading this off the internet, but I know that the supermoon, this blue moon that we're in, and we have Lauren here that Lauren probably knows more about, and there's probably a few of you who are very in tune with astrology. But this blue moon, the supermoon that we're in, I'm just trying to see. I have some back feed. Give me 2 minutes, guys. Somebody, there we go. I'm just going to mute that person. Okay. I'm just going to read a little bit about the information of this this moon. It's a full moon. It's a really special moon that we're in right now, and it's a rare supermoon. And it says here, how did the lunation get this special moniker? What astrological effects might August super blue moon have on you? A supermoon occurs when the moon orbit. Julie, can you just mute, or Andrea, can you mute somebody? Guys, there's some back feed happening. And I know it just affects the recording. I'm going to just mute Jill as well. There we go. A supermoon occurs when the moon's orbit means it's closer to Earth than usual. So it appears to be larger. This is the first of 4 supermoons this year, with more coming in September, October, and November. Give me 2 seconds. I know that this moon is bringing up a lot of uncomfortable, subconscious emotions. And for me, I'm a water sign, so it affects me. I don't sleep. I wish I did. I wish it was easy. I try really hard to think and change my thoughts around this time, but it just is what it is. And I know that a lot of us are, it's kind of like, what are we working with? Family, ancestral patterns, you know, what are we changing? What are we putting out there into the field to bring the change? And it's a really special time to dig deep. You know, if you're not journaling, perhaps journal. If you want to, you know, have a ceremony around a fire and work with some old emotions, people that have irritated you, triggered you, annoyed you, pissed you off. It's time to really dig deep, because we get activated with these energies that are coming through. And I know that this is a time of rapid transformation. The Council of Eight have shown me this throughout this whole entire year. It even goes back to a year, 2 years ago. Jill, if she chooses to, can discuss around the discourse and what the discourse has brought, and the sharings of the discourse. That was also, 3-4 years ago. It is an incredible time, guys, to be alive, but it's going to get rocky. It's going to get very bumpy. And what I mean by that is working with those emotions. I'm very much, as being the medium that I am, I'm very much about how are we working with our human self. It's wonderful being connected, but we're still here to have the life lessons. We're still here to learn. We're still here to be. We're still here to show up in the presence of who we are. And personally, I've just been through a massive, rapid, deep dive of, really, I felt like I was in a blackness, an absolute black hole. And it was challenging. It was, you know, I got into my 50s and I said to everybody, 50s, I'm going to rock. I said to my husband, I'm going to rock and roll them. Well, did I rock and roll them? Jesus, the rapids have hit me hard, okay? And I kind of wished I'd turned to an astrologer so that the astrologer could say, Michelle, slow down. Michelle, slow down. No, Michelle's a martyr. Michelle wants to help everybody else. And the reality is that I forgot to nourish myself. And nourishing ourselves in these times comes in many different ways. And, you know, we're not here to sit on a platform or a panel to say, this is what you got to do. We're here to say, how can we be in this together? That's what I know my purpose is. How can we show up together? How can we, you know, show up in our vulnerability, our honesty, our integrity, our authenticity? These are the moments that count. And you guys taking your time to be here is incredibly special. You know, we're all in this together. And I want to thank Jill and I want to thank Andrea for, you know, we push through. I mean, we if you could be a fly on the wall with all of us, we kind of like have these gatherings, these get-togethers, and we're like, blah, 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 and we strategize, and then we're like, oh my God, we're so confused. What are we actually doing? And that's part of the human experience. We literally go, what did we just discuss? Like, are we doing this? Aren't we doing this? Okay, and that's what happens. It's kind of like, what are we doing? What are we doing? How are we showing up? And that's what the supermoon's about. How are you going to take this energy? What are you going to do with this energy to work through. You know, Spirit always show us within, without. And it's about our vibrations, how we intending to uplift, how we intending to push through. So I highly recommend, you know, go on to websites. Pam Gregory for me is phenomenal. She's sharing a lot about what is going on energetically within this full moon and how all the planets are moving. And, you know, I was in fear for a long time around how astrology worked. And now I'm really listening to it and going, oh, that makes sense. Because sometimes I wake up and I call it the batshit crazy club. There's 3 of us that are Cancerians in our home and 1 Sagittarius. And, you know, the batshit crazy club, sometimes if my husband's, it's kind of like the energy gets passed between all of us because we're water signs. It's like, oh, then I listen to Pam Greg and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's happening. So it's seeking the information, gathering the information. And we all have information, all of us. We're not here to say we're doing it or do it our way. How can we show up together? Because we all have information. We all are in this together. Jill, Andrea, do you want to add anything to that? You have to unmute yourselves.
I don't have anything to say about the moon because, funny enough, I'm not a moon person. I react to the sun, so I'm pretty good with the moon, but I react with the sun, so I'm just more in tune with the sun, and the moon kind of leaves me alone. So
I just basically don't sleep when there's a moon going around, you know, big, when it starts becoming big and fabulous. It just says, look at me, and then I can't sleep.
So remember, we're in the year of 2024, which is an 8. And thanks for both sharing. And you're both so, I don't know, I just feel incredibly abundant in being here with all of you. And this is the year of abundance, but it's the year of really, really looking at your stuff. What do we need to dig deep into? And sometimes it shows up when it shows up. And sometimes it doesn't. And, you know, I truly know that we are here for the change. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in this together. And we're not sacrificing anything. I went to a meeting yesterday about communities and building a different frequency, and it was so interesting for me because the woman who was holding it started off by telling us to put our phones onto flight mode, and I was like, huh, why? And she said, oh, so that everybody can't hear us. And I went, I just blurted out and I went, shake it off, shake off that fear, stop it, I'm not. And I was like, and I took everything inside of me to just sit there and go, it's okay, Michelle, it's okay. But we know what fear feels like because they were worried. These people were worried, like, who else is listening, you know? Well, everybody's listening to everybody. Spirit are here with us. They're showing up for us. How are you tuning into your knowing? So I'm going to hand over to Andrea because she is such a wealth of wisdom. And I am incredibly honored that she's here. She lives in a space, Hawaii, which I love. And the energy of Hawaii is, oh man, it's just palpable for me. So I'm going to hand over to Andrea because, you know, this is what we're here to share, is our stories. And our stories are all unique and individual. So take on what resonates. And what doesn't resonate, it just doesn't resonate for now. Over to you, Andrea.
all right. So I thought I would start maybe with explaining what is channeling, what is a psychic and what is a medium, because I think we all use these terminologies differently. And this is just to explain where I came from. So for example, every human is psychic, and that would be like, oh, I'm thinking about Michelle, and then she calls me. So every human is psychic. And then you have the medium who is always psychic, but the difference is that a medium connects to the spirit world. So, and that could be that you talk to angels, or the best one is probably The Sixth Sense, the movie, where the little boy sees spirit. So he was a medium. So you connect to something that's not of this world, I think in the astral plane, and that could be angels or whatever, but that would be a medium. And so a psychic is not necessarily a medium, but all mediums are psychic. So, and that's a very traditional way to look at it. And I think in America we call, in England, they define it a little bit different. So, but that's just to give you an overview. And so then channeling. So I think we all channel. We just do it very differently. So if you're an artist and you're in the zone, you channel. If you're a musician and suddenly notes coming out of that, that's channeling. If you do creative or automatic writing, you're channeling. So what I hope is that everybody understands that you can access your own divinity, your own higher self, with doing whatever your gift is. Just because, for example, Michelle is a voice channel for a group and you are maybe an artist, there is no difference. It's both channeling. It's just different degrees and different broadbands where you tap into. But I think it's kind of fun to find whatever it is that you do where you connect to spirit. And you might not call it channeling, but just take that second where you go like, oh my God, that did not come from my ego. This is actually coming from somewhere else. And then you have, for example, the subcategories of channeling. So for example, there can be trance channeling, and that's the deepest state of channeling. For example, Edgar Cayce was a trance channel that went so deep that even when they put like needles under his fingertips or under his nails, he didn't wake up. So he was that deep in trance. And also like Carla Ruckert from the Raw Material, she was a deep trance channel. Then there's a direct voice channel where you, or actually an entity or a group comes through you and they take over your voice box. So you most likely probably don't remember what they were saying, or you can just be in the back in your head and you remember a little bit, but some people don't remember anything. And that's like you become their voice. They use your throat chakra. And then conscious channeling is something where you're channeling an entity, but you're clearly still, I'm still Andrea, and this person or this entity is giving me messages or anything, and that comes into your clairs. You know, we all have somewhat the clairs, you know, the clairvoyant, the clairaudient, the claircognizance, the clair, what it's smelling, I forgot what that is. So I'm clairvoyant. That's my strongest point, and a clairaudient. So I see with my third eye and I see with my real eyes. So I see orbs at all times, for example, and I hear. So those are my strengths. And so that's just kind of a quick reference point. So it started for me, I think the first time, you know, like 35 years ago, I was studying at FIT and I was designing. And I was designing something that to me was an original something. And then half a year later, like all over the world, these designs popped up. And I said, in my head, I said, what is this? They didn't steal my design, obviously. So I understood something is happening in the universe where you're just open to receive something, which is actually channeling, but I didn't know what that was then. And then 20 years ago, I was introduced to Abraham Hicks. And to me, that really, I really through them understood what that was, what was happening. At the same time, I started a career in the movie industry. And because I understood from their teachings that if there is a question, I can channel the answer immediately. So it's just a delay. The delay is how open are you to it. So I always knew that if I have a problem or a question at work, I could immediately just go like, what's the answer? And I did that because I was in a field where I didn't know how to do something. And I would say, yes, I can do it. I can do it, no problem. That's what the director wants to hear. And then I would go like, how do I do this? And then, because I clearly did not know how to do it. And I just said, okay, how do I do this? I got out of my own way and let the answer come. And this has been working now for me for 20 years. And I would say with a 99.9% accuracy, where I just get out of the way and let the answer come. So that is channeling. And I only mastered that actually at work. I think that's my strongest point, where I'm so clear in that. And the other parts of life, you're more in your own way. But that taught me like, oh, okay, what is this? This is also channeling. And then I started to see things more of galactic beings. They were started to talk to me. And I go like, okay, then the voice set in. And I go like, okay, this is interesting. And then I go like, okay, is this real? You always ask, is this real or is real? And I had good teachers who I would just say, hey, this happened. Is that true? And they could confirm certain things. So I trusted my intuition more and more and more. So that's why this is a long process. But if you have a spiritual practice, which I encourage everybody to have, you become stronger and stronger. The link to the spirit world becomes stronger and stronger. And your intuition is also channeling of your higher self. So you constantly have the opportunity to go to your higher self to learn something from you. You're teaching yourself. And I always like that, where I think get the middleman out of the way and just teach yourself. But then, I started with, because I'm a healer, that's the most that I'm really am interested in that. And I was told I was born with that gift. And then I was also told by a teacher that at some point there will be an entity that will come through me to heal through me. So that would be trance healing. And trance healing is where I get, so I would, if you are my patient, I would connect to you, then I would leave you kind of by the side, and then, well, also I connect to myself first, then I connect to source or my guides, and I connect to them, and then I kind of get out of the way, and I am in a trance where I kind of leave, and I just am the conduit between the higher powers, the guide, whoever is coming through, going straight to you. So that would be trance healing. And in that segment, I'm totally out of the way. And I might get 2 or 3 words, like a crystal for you or whatever they suggest for you. But that's all that I would get right now as a voice, actual voice. So that's trance healing. Then maybe like 9 months ago or so, I started to receive light codes, and then they were actually Lemurian light codes. And I just got them and I just wrote them down. Me being the artist, of course, I just said, okay, I have to just paint them. And then they started explaining some of them, what the light codes were for. And some I don't know what they're for, because light codes are supposed to kind of go past your language center so you don't analyze them. So it goes straight into your subconscious. So, and with the Lemurian light codes, that's a lot of activation that I'm doing here on the islands. I'm getting, they come and they tell me where to go, what to activate, what to do. I work with water a lot. So there are a lot of crystals around the Hawaiian Islands that will be activated once again from that time period. And so that's what I'm also working in. That's why I think a lot of people are drawn to Hawaii right now, because you had probably past life in Lemuria. And it's just something that's really calling you. And I think maybe I sometimes feel like the crystals are calling you, but the frequency here is rising and rising and rising. So it's quite beautiful. And then, so I was given the Lemurian light codes to heal. And there's one code that they showed to me holographically, which was to clean toxins out of water, which means our internal water, because we have so many toxins in us. And they said right now to start with, give it to people who have cancer and the early stages of dementia, because that's a huge buildup of toxins. And so I would like to offer this to you if you, and I'll show them to you. Actually, I have some here. This is just like a coaster where you put your water on, and you just put your They come in like a little different colors because of your chakra system, and they're painted on linen, which is the highest conductor of energy. And then I pray and meditate over them for weeks. And so they're high frequency. And then you put your water on it and it clears that out. And so if you have someone and you're in the US, I would love to send you one. If you have a family member that has cancer, I will send that to you. And it has a little explanation of what it is and that it's a Lemurian light code. And you just put your water on it. Then I also received a lot of different, that's one for water. And then I received a lot of different ones for wrapping yourself in these symbols, and that will be a scarf. So I'm going to do scarves that you can wear to heal you or to just absorb the frequency of the symbols that are all activated. Okay, I'm talking. Woo-hoo. How much time do I have? I feel like I'm talking so much. How am I doing? Time-wise?
3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes. Yeah, you're doing well. Exceptionally well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. So what else do I have? God. So the Galactic Beings. Okay, that's kind of fun. So I seem to have a huge connection to Galactic Beings, and that excites me tremendously because mediums connect to dead people, yes. And I was never interested in talking to like somebody's grandmother. So I wanted to connect to entities in different galaxies. So I got a reptilian, and he's from the Pleiadians, and he is a lovely, benevolent being. So, and he shows me things, teaches me things. So I have a lot of galactic entities, the Pleiadians, the Lemurians, and all of it coming through. And they teach me, and they show me what to do and counterbalance the negativity that's going on in this world right now. So, and that's what I'm sharing. And I think it's just the beginning, because I think more and more people are waking up and we're forming this web. And I'm very excited about that. And Robin Williams is coming through, who is a lovely teacher and makes me laugh. And he is a brilliant being who's very interested in our situation right now on Earth. And so he's around as well. So that's kind of it. And if you have questions, we have a Q&A later, if you have any specific questions. So that's just my rough journey. There's so much more, but I think that gives you an idea of what I do. And I do trance healing right now. So email me. There's my name on the screen, and I can talk to you about it. And yeah, and if you want a coaster, please just send me an email with who it is, what kind of cancer they have, and I will send you a little package. And it has to be in the United States. I would do it worldwide, but the mail is incredibly expensive to send it outside of the United States. And it's a gift right now. So I'm just doing it in the United States. So thank you for your time.
Andrea, can I say something? I know that there are people that will have friends or somebody that has cancer, and I'm sure with my hand on my heart that they will pay for the postage in order to get that. So I think maybe that's something to think about if you
yeah. And they gave me a number, my guides, how many I will offer as a offering to the universe, and then I'll charge at some point. So there will be a certain amount of them that I will give for free. So it's just kind of first come, first serve right now, and then I will sell them at some point. But yes, I mean, absolutely. If you want to pay for it and Venmo, please do. If you want it for yourself, you feel like something is building up. So I just want to offer that to the universe to balance. Susan. And there's my timer. So thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Wow, you did exceptionally well. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm just trying to see. Thank you. So for you guys, I am, and I love how Andrea's explained the psychic medium, and sorry, people are just still coming in, so I might lose a bit of focus as I'm talking about what I do. I am a spiritual medium, so I connect with the loved ones or loved ones who have passed over. This is something that I still to this day, I've been doing this for 15 odd years. I come from a counseling background. I studied neurolinguistic programming, and I was a part-time hospice caregiver in Johannesburg, South Africa. So it was incredibly important to me to show up and to learn empathy and to learn compassion. And the irony of me doing this work 15 years ago was me doing this work for myself, because the universe was kind of nudging me, pushing me, but I had to learn how to learn forgiveness and learn compassion. And it's been a continuous learning for me in my own journey. My numerology report is all about experiencing the things, and even coming out of this darkness I was explaining to you guys in July, I was pleading with the Council of Eight, just saying, can you just anoint me? Can you just push a button and go, ding, it's done? And but it's just not part of my journey as far as I'm understanding it. And it's been a process of I'm a self-learner, you know. It's like I've gone on different courses, I've done different courses, but these things appear to me, and my soul gives me the guidance as in how I'm ready. So as an example, when I was counseling back in South Africa, I was having clients come to my home, and this one woman, I had no idea that she'd actually had a stillborn, but I started saying to her, you're holding a baby in your arms, and she's got dark hair with these beautiful blue eyes, and I described the dress, and she sat there in absolute shock, and she started really chunking and crying, and I was like, I'm so sorry, but like I felt like I offended her. And she said to me, how do you know this? How do you know this? I said, I'm seeing it. So I am clairaudient, clairsentient, claircognizant. So I see telepathically, I see through the beyond the veil. I don't know, like I don't know. I just see things and I let it come out of my mouth, and I share it. And she said to me, how do you know this? And I said, it's just what I'm seeing. And it was the first time I realized how I am a medium, because she had shared with me that exactly what I was sharing with her was her baby that was stillborn, and the dress was exactly the dress that the baby was wearing, and we both ended up in tears. And slowly but surely, I came to realize over time. I grew up in a quite a traumatized background. I didn't realize a lot of the times that things that I was saying and sharing as a young kid and as a teenager was pretty apt, but I was shut down. You know, stop it, Michelle, don't say it, because I would call people out on their stuff, and I'd share things, and I'd say, this is what I'm seeing. And I didn't realize there was something else, because, you know, we went to a Methodist church, and then I went to a Pentecostal church, but my connection to Jesus was really, really deep from a very young age. And so I'm very, very grateful that in part of my learning and channeling, even, you know, which came years later when I came to New Zealand, and Jill, who is one of my very, very dear friends, when Jill and I met, Jill was speaking about the Galactics and the Galactic Federation of Light, and this was 8 years ago, almost 7 years ago, that I didn't even know who those people were. But again, in my soul's experience, you know, it was time. And when I was channeling already, and I was already in South Africa, but I didn't realize that there was more. I didn't realize that I was a channel. The Council of Eight had been speaking to me for a very, very long time, but I kind of pushed it out, because in my journey, I put people on pedestals. I had a very special mentor and a counselor. And even though she said to me, Michelle, do not put me on a pedestal, I did. And she was a very, very, very big pivotal part of my journey, because she was teaching me about energy. And this goes back like 16 years ago, but I was working with my human self. Like I say, I was learning to forgive. I was learning to let go of the anger. I was learning to let go of the frustration. And it hasn't been an easy journey for me at all. I've come kicking and screaming and full of resentment and pushing it out. Like I'm like, I don't want to do this. And it's like, no, you are. Don't want to, no, you are, you know, and the Council of Eight have a great sense of humor. And it's been a journey for me of just, like I say, experiencing life, experiencing what it feels like to be in this human realm, but at the same time, bridging the two worlds together. So when I came to New Zealand, they had divine intervention, and Jill and I had met, and that's where we started speaking about the fact that there's more. And going back to South Africa, you know, I started working more as a psychic medium, but I was holding myself back. And I think so often this is what we do in life, you know, we hold ourselves back. And I most certainly did, based on what my parents would say, based on what my family would say to me. And they brought me down a lot of the times. You know, my dad was like, oh, you know, so you and your universe. And there was a lot of mockery, there was a lot of sarcasm. And so I kind of shut it down. But I was listening to the likes of Abraham on the good old CDs. I was listening to and reading about Wayne Dyer and Louise Hay, and they were the pivotal part of my journey to get me to this point. But I still played small. I still doubted myself. I still thought that everybody else could do this except me. And then, as I say, coming to this part of the world, New Zealand just popped me open in ways that I'm still discovering. And it's been a journey of massive change for me. But, you know, like I say, I come back into my human self, and then I kick and scream, and I'm resistant, and then I pop out, and I'm like, oh, that was easy. And then a part of my consciousness goes, yep, you got there. And I go, shit, does it have to be that easy? Does it have to be that hard? And then, you know, the council of eight are like, well, Michelle, we're just hanging out and waiting for you, and just, you know, you're ready. And I'm like, no, I'm not. So I play this game with myself continuously. And it's interesting, as much as I have these readings, and I still seek, you know, advice or guidance from other people, because other people have unique gifts. You know, often I would say to Jill, and I turned to Andrea in this darkness that I was in, and I was like, I don't know what's going on with me, but I turn to, you know, I get the name, and then and trust that, guys. That's your intuition. Trust that. I was working with a client yesterday, and she said, as a mom, she's saying, my gut's saying this, but my head's saying that, and people are telling me that. I'm like, listen to your gut, because your gut is always on point, always. But we doubt it. I've doubted a lot of myself. And, you know, I turn to my trusted friends, and I turn and I say, I just help me, you know. And it's a part of my learning, because a big part of me with the resistance has taught myself, and I'm unteaching this in my condition and my belief system, that I don't have to do life alone. Damn it. And I still get annoyed because I don't want to cry. But this is what I'm learning, guys, is that we don't have to do life alone. And we are all in this together. And I am so incredibly grateful for this journey and this experience and my vulnerability. And as much as I get annoyed with myself, I have to talk to myself and say, it's okay. It's okay. Because I'm a freaking water sign, people. And I always think of Dini in this moment, because Dini's like, how do you do that? How do you cry and laugh in the same moment? I'm like, I don't know. It's clearly a gift. So, like I say, you know, it's just a learning. And I'm hoping that one day I can openly share without the tears, but I just don't know until I know. So I show up in this way. and it's a learning for me. It's a learning to accept, because this is who I've been since I was young. That, you know, I'm a processor, and it's processing the energy. It's processing the energy through me. And when I'm channeling, I love it, because I'm in a different state, an altered state, and Michelle, the personality, steps aside. And when I'm channeling the Council of Eight, I can hear myself saying to them, oh my God, like, that's amazing. Can I remember this? And I don't remember. There's parts that I remember, but I don't remember what comes through. And they have different frequencies that come through, different light codes that come through. And I'm amazed, absolutely amazed, and absolutely in awe of what they share. because people will write to me 3-4 months later and say, wow, Michelle, they shared this and this and this. And what I love is that they share the truth of what needs to be experienced or what needs to be told in that moment. And that's going back to my part of being human, but also my part of, learning that as a young kid, I've had to learn to reel it back because I come from a very sarcastic background. And I had to learn to not say it with the tone that I was taught. And I hope this makes sense, because my teaching was like, just say it like it is, just say it like it is, blah, and just park it and just leave. And that doesn't work. That's not what compassion is about. Compassion is delivering it in a way that it is heard, that it is taken on and perhaps like mulled over a little bit, and where people go, okay, that's where people hear you. But my defense mechanisms and the way that I was programmed was just dump it on people, just say it like it is, because you've got to be brutally honest. And I've learned that that's not a good way to deliver a message. And so I'm still learning that. I'm still learning as a human being that my defense mechanisms, my fight, flight, fright response can definitely still take over, and I've got to learn to just navigate that in my nervous system and just take a few big breaths before I say things. And I'm talking about my human experience. When I'm in my field of work, I am absolutely in awe of what Spirit delivered to me when I am doing my mediumship work. And I never knew that, and I used to underplay and I used to undersell myself that we could do all of this. And I say this because we absolutely can, guys. I work multidimensionally, and I love all the aspects of my work. But I used to say, what was I this or was I this? And it created such confusion for me. If I look back on my emails and the labels of, I've studied this course and I've studied this course, and it doesn't really matter. What matters is the messages that come through. And I really am. I'm in awe of Spirit and being the facilitator. So when I'm in my mediumship, they will share songs, and people, their mouths drop and they say, how do you know this? And I say, I don't, because it's just trusting. And that's been my learning in this lifetime, is we don't have to do life alone, and learn to trust that intuition, learn to trust the messages that are coming through. And this has been a part of my human self. And somebody called me out last week because I went, I ain't coming back. I am not coming back to this earth. I am done with this game. When I'm done and my last breath is done, I'm not. And she said, it sounds like there's some resistance there, Michelle. And I was like, damn it, she just called me out. And I went, yep, there's clearly resistance. So it's an acceptance of who we are and where we're at. And it's never right or wrong. It just is. But in the beauty of who we are, guys, it's really looking deep within as to who we are and accepting all those parts of ourselves. And when we accept all those parts, that's the true gift of being in a space of grace. And that's source. That's in the connection of source. And it's pure. It's pure, and it's just transparent, and it's easy, and it's accepting. But there's that other part of ourselves that, for me, my other part that has definitely defied everything. And I'm somebody who pushes against the grain, and I push myself hard, and I push against the resistance. But when we're in true surrender, which I've had to be, when I got so sick now in July, I got to go. Dinosaurs going, there's the Jurassic Park. Surrender. I'm going to end off with surrender and acceptance. So thank you for all showing up and being here today. And I love the dinosaur, because that is a real, true Jurassic Park dinosaur. So thank you. Jilly, over to you.
Unmute. There you go. I have got so much to say. I have got so many stories that I was lying in bed last night thinking, what am I actually going to say? Because which one do I even share? And I thought, well, just start at the beginning. And I used to just be what people would term normal. And a series of things happened. And I ended up sitting next to a lady in a 6-week course. And the only reason I went to this course was to learn about nutrition for my child. And I turned to her and I said, oh, what do you do? And she said, oh, my husband and I own an airline. And I thought, well, that's a bit different. And what I didn't know was I was sitting next to one of the top medium and clairvoyants in the whole of New Zealand on the very, very last day of that course. And this is how spirit works. On the last day of that course, we had somebody that came in that they called an iridiologist. And I didn't know what a medium was, a channel. I didn't even know there was anything called meditation. What on earth was an iridiologist? And as she was talking, I saw this huge blue light all right around her head, all the way to her shoulders. And I just turned to the lady next to me and I said to her, oh, look, she has blue light. She's got God's glory around her. And she looked at me and she said, Jill, do you see auras? I said, I beg your pardon? I mean, I didn't even know that was a name. And she put her hand up and said, Pam, Jill can see auras. And I nearly passed out. I thought, please, nobody even look at me. So we packed up and they said, come, Jill, we're all going to the pub across the road. We're going to go and have a drink. And I said, oh, no, I don't drink. And they looked at me and they said, well, you can have an orange juice, can't you? I said, oh, yeah, I can. It's so ridiculous. So Glenda was the lady's name. And that's why I also always agree with Michelle. None of us do this alone. There's always somebody that helps us on our journey. And Glenda was my little guardian angel. And she said to me, I'd love you to come to my home and try some meditation. And I said, well, what's that? And she said, well, just come on Saturday. And I asked Greg if, can you look after the kids? Because we had little boys, a little baby and toddler. And he said, yep, sure, off you go. And she did a guided meditation for maybe 2 minutes. And then she just left me to roam. And then she pulled me back. And then she said to me, tell me what you saw. So I told her exactly what I saw. And she said to me, how long do you think you were traveling for? I said, 5 minutes. And she said, half an hour. She said, Jill, you are a born, doing this stuff. So I said, oh, no, I'm a housewife. And she said, I'm telling you now, you'll be able to do stuff that I do and more. But I suddenly had so many questions. I was asking her all these questions. And then being such a good teacher, she said to me, I'm not going to give you any answers anymore because you have the answer inside of you. Everybody has the answer inside of them. And I thought, oh, no. What am I going to do if I don't have my Glenda? She said, I'm going to teach you how to connect. And I think this is what this channeling and everything is about. For those people who always connect in their own way and don't even realize that they're channeling, they go, oh, no, I want to do it like you. But nobody can do it like me or like Michelle or anybody else, because as Andrea said earlier, we all do it our way. She said to me, you need to find a very quiet spot when you know you're not going to get interrupted, where the phone's not going to ring. And she said, you can either do it on the computer on a Word document, or you can use a pad and a pen. You close your eyes, you take a few big, beautiful, deep breaths, and you just get to that point of stillness. And you say, what is it that you wish to share with me? That's it. And no matter, she said, what random thoughts come in, she said, you will get information or words that you've never heard of before. And then you'll look those up. That will be your confirmation that it's not coming from you as such, that you are receiving stuff. So I waited for Greg and the boys to go away for a weekend skiing. And I sat on my computer at 9 o'clock at night. And I said, who's there? Total silence. And then I got the giggles. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is like a seance, like 16 years old with a Ouija board. And I said, okay, Jill, just behave yourself. And I then said, what is your name? And immediately it said Aurelus. I'm thinking, I don't know anybody called Aurelus. And I said, what foodstuffs do I need to stay away from? And they said sugar beets, lactose, corn, pork, and sorghum. I'd never heard of sorghum in my life. So that was the beginning of my journey. I then had a hell of an accident, skiing accident. I was told I'd never walk again, and if I did, it would be very poorly. And when I had to have my MRI, a little man appeared. Although my eyes were closed, I could see him. And he said, come, I want to take you inside the human body. I want to show you how the human energy system works and how people lose and leak their power and their energy. And he showed me that it was just incredible traveling through all the layers. And he said, all of you have got a hotel. You've got a penthouse and you've got a basement and you've got your 7 floors. He said, so many people live in their basements when they've got a whole penthouse, they don't even know it. So suddenly everything started happening. I started seeing things. It was just incredible. And I think it's like a layering. It's like onions that the layer goes off and the next layer goes off. You don't even know what you've got inside. It's like a little treasure trove. So I really encourage you all to do some automatic writing. If you're not already, get into your point of stillness, connecting within. I call that a holy communion. It's very holy because you're holy, and it's your communion inside with what comes through. And fast forwarding, I was working from home quite a few years ago, and I decided to have a cup of tea. And it was snowing outside, it was cold, everything was closed, the curtains were closed. And I walked into the kitchen and my mouth started drooping, and I thought I was having a stroke. And these weird words started coming out. And I really thought I was ready to be committed. And I then found myself opening up the curtains, and it said, you are a channel. I'm thinking, what the hell is that? Open up your heart and let the light in. It is time for the discourse to begin. What the hell is that? And then everything just, it was like being on the bullet train. I ended up, through always bizarre circumstances, going to Peru, where I started channeling out loud, giving messages to everybody, seeing things, seeing the spaceship in the lobby. I mean, it was just absolutely crazy. And then when I got back from Peru and we had the lockdown, Alba Weinman called me and she said to me, can you chat? I said, no, I'm in the supermarket. I'll phone you in 5 minutes. And then suddenly, as I was driving home, because I see everything like a video playing, I was told that she was going to hypnotize me 12 times. They upstairs, my upstairs team, would give me the message, all the questions that she needed to ask me, and they would channel all the answers. And I thought, oh, that's crazy. So I told her. She said, great, we start on Monday. I said, really, do you take this seriously? She said, I saw what you did in Peru. So do you see, if she hadn't seen what I did in Peru, so they made that happen. And everybody said I should have a session with Tabash, which is Blestara, is a friend of ours. And he said to me, James, Jesus's brother, started your engine, your motor in Peru. They're working on you. They are changing your photonic structure in order to be a voice for the, as an ambassador for the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And you're here to help people with ascension. And you worked with Jesus in the Essenes. You worked together, and you've come back to carry on with the work, with the job. So it's been a very, very interesting ride, and so much has happened since then. And I've just got to finish off, because I know I've only got a few minutes, is that I was having lunch about a few months ago, and Michelle and I chat all the time, and she WhatsApped me on video, and she was chatting to me, and I was sitting outside on our patio with the garden behind me, and suddenly she went, "Oh, Jill, no." But it was so strong that if I was in Africa, I would have thought there was a lion behind me or a murderer. And I turned around to see what was there. I couldn't see a thing. Zippo, nada, nothing. And she just got on her phone and was going, click, 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 click. She said, "Oh my God, it's massive. It's moving. It's morphing. It's changing its form." And I was irritated to hell because why did I see that? She saw that. What the hell? And seeing those photos, and my guide said to me, "You were not supposed to see that. She was supposed to see that because she sees so much, but she doubts herself. And now she's captured it, and you were that catalyst because you're playing tag team. So none of us do this alone, guys. Isn't it absolutely fabulous?" And my automatic writing now has got so huge, so big, so long that I can ask them anything about any subject and they start giving me stuff. Now, I've got 3 minutes left, haven't I, girls? Okay. So I was going through everything last night thinking, what on earth am I going to share with you? So I'm going to give you an example of the automatic writing that my guides give me. This was in 2017. I said, "Hi guys, I'm still interested in DNA. Is there a way that humanity can change their own DNA? I see at once what looks like a whirligig. It's a disc in the middle and 2 twisting parts on either side. Oh, you tell me, this is a rotation of energy. One can energize one's system to a new level, which can change the structure that you inhabit. As we said, you could all will a dead cell to life. But how does humanity do this? How are they in charge of their power when they can't decide which holiday to take, which dress to purchase, or which restaurant to eat at? We require strength of mind and quiet to go within, to recalibrate, realign, and remanufacture the new strands. And then they ask the question, what is it that you require? Go within and make it happen. We say this is a new phase of humanity. When it learns what it is capable of doing, you will see much happening, many changes, great technology emerging, and the power of the mind will be able to move whole structures. Buildings will be built by gravity and using the force field to work with you and not against you. Your systems are antiquated. Gravity has many lessons still to provide. All is energy. And what is it that earthlings give their energy to? Which direction do they point it? And what is it that they accumulate within and without? Food is fuel for your turbo blaster or for your 1920 Model T Ford, which is the one that you choose. Both take a different fuel. You won't be able to go to the moon on the fuel that would run a Model T Ford. Such is it with the food/fuel that you partake of. We wish for humanity to take stock and see the diseases disappear when the fuel is changed. Okay, guys, that's my time up. I have got files and I could do 10 books on all the information that I've got. So thanks, guys. Thanks for your time.
Well, people can go and buy the discourse, Julie. Where can they find the discourse? Because there's a lot of information in the discourse for those of you who don't know.
Oh, and I'm busy with my other book. I've got another book coming out. It will be launched next year, teaching people exactly to do what we do, giving them the tools. The discourse is on Audible if people just want to listen to it while they walk around. And it's also on Amazon. Yeah.
There you go. So we thought we'd open it up to anybody that has questions for any of us, any three of us, because, you know, we've all got insights, we've all got different ways of, you know, our own learnings, our own journeys, as you can hear. So anybody, oopsie, sorry, that's just the timer. Who would like to ask any questions? And it's open. We all agreed that this is an open time. Any questions for any of us? Just unmute yourselves and then please go ahead. You can put up your hands perhaps like that. Also,
Your virtual hand, maybe. Yeah.
there we go. Yeah, put up a hand and then I can also just see, has anybody got any questions for either of us? Yeah, Cash? Just unmute yourself, Cash.
Hello? Oh,
Yeah, can hear you.
hear me? Okay, hi. Okay, for Andrea, what do the light codes look like? Are they all different? How do we sense them?
Yes, they're all different, and I can show you. I actually later I'll share one with you that I got this morning. I asked for the group who joins today, and they gave me a code for that before we go into the meditation. I'll share that with you, but I can also show you. This is the scarf I made, and let's see. This is kind of what they look like. Can you see that?
Oh, wow. Yeah, very much
And they're
so.
all different. Yeah, so yeah, they're all different, and you
Yeah.
read them. They're kind of in a way to read them, but it's all kind of, it surpasses your brain, so you shouldn't think about them. They just do their work on their own. So, but that's what
Okay.
they look like.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Cassandra. Erica H.
Can you hear me?
Hello. My question is for Andrea.
Yep. Yes.
Go ahead, Erica.
Oh, okay. My question is for Andrea. For the auras, how would you learn about learning more about auras, and what color is my aura? I don't know.
That actually is a Jill. I only see auras on plants and animals, so I think I
Okay.
give that to Jill.
Okay.
Hi. So at the
Hello.
moment, hi. So at the moment, I see a bit of indigo, but I also see it around plants, buildings, people.
Okay.
But don't ever get hung up on what color am I, because depending
Yeah.
on what's going on in your life, Erica, at the time, you could have 3 different colors just in one day.
Okay.
So it's more important, they're saying, that you elevate yourself with your thoughts, because they're
Okay.
actually saying, what color would you like to be?
Oh, blue.
Well, then be blue, right?
Okay.
So then you think to
Yeah.
yourself, in order for me to be blue, what do I have to think? What I have to say? What has to come out of my portal of light? What? And
Very
they're
good.
saying, if you've got indigo, it's a darker, and they're saying, don't think that when they say darker, that it's like dark, right? They say
Yeah.
it's a darker blue.
Okay.
And they're saying it's because you go within. You go within a
Yeah.
lot, not a surface dweller. So that's why it's the heavy grounding, the solid. So
Yeah.
maybe one day you want to say today, actually today I'm going to be light and frivolous. So then the blue changes, the indigo becomes lighter.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Okay.
So Julie, just while you're talking about auras, Radha's got a really great question. What is the current aura of the Earth right now?
I might be talking absolutely gobbledygook, but I always have to go with the very first thing that came into my head. And they said silver.
What does silver represent?
I've got no idea.
Ask them. Oh, Trish, you've got the answer. What did you say, Trish?
Hi, Mishi. Silver is always protection.
Nice.
When I do my meditations, always protect with gold and silver armor. So protect myself and the planet with like a ring I don't even know how to describe it, almost like as if you're an egg and you're surrounding yourself in your own eggshell of gold and silver armor in terms of light. And then you fill that from the top, from the crown chakra, with the white light just coming through every part of your being, and then the violet coming up from below, and let it swirl around and through you. And any negativity within or around you instantly transmuted and sent to source on the white light of the Christ. And there I go. I was just channeling and not knowing it.
As you said that, my whole crown started tingling. For those of you who don't know, this is Jill's baby sister. So you can imagine how it's like the universe is just going ding, ding. I mean, your mother must have known what hit her with two very gifted women.
Oh, you're so kind. Yeah, that is actually the gold and silver armor thing is something I've been using since I was in my 20s. I'm now 62. So sorry, Jill, giving age away. But yeah, so that's the Count Saint-Germain for anyone who has ever worked with Count Saint-Germain. Those are the colors that I was just taught to use, and it just comes totally naturally to me. And yeah, you know, if any of you have looked at Google Earth, when you see Earth floating through space and you see the light of the color of the atmosphere around the Earth, and it gets that silvery blue, that's what I visualize.
Amazing. Thank you. Thanks, Trishi.
I just wanted to add one thing. I just saw a little clip, and the colors are actually different in different parts of the world right now. So there are some more high frequency parts and some more denser parts. So the colors are actually really changing. Like Jill said, you can have many colors in your aura. The Earth right now has many colors. Right now, they're showing me like this part of has like a white light, and then so it just goes like almost like it's like a halo around Earth, and it changes. So, and again, it changes whatever is happening. So it's also like a person, it's changing because it's a live being. So
amazing.
Sorry, if I could just say something, two things. Yes, Andrea, that's also at the moment probably got a lot to do with the fact that I don't know if many of you are aware, there've been a major amount of massive coronal mass ejections from the sun very recently. And it's interesting that we're having this blue moon, full moon cycle. In fact, I wish you guys could have seen the moon this evening above Lion's Head in Cape Town. It was phenomenal. And yeah, so that's the one thing. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you, Andrea, you're in Hawaii. Yes. Do you know that you're exactly on the other side of the clock from us in Cape Town, South Africa? So
I think I am aware of that, actually.
Yeah, something interesting we used to do in our meditation sessions, and now I'm getting goosies all over. Way back in 1987, 88, 89, somewhere around there, worked very closely with a medium, and she used to say in our meditations, she used to say, we're going to start and we're going to pick up on a Wednesday night, and we're going to start exactly when Hawaii ends so that we can keep that energy circling around the earth. So it's interesting, when I saw you were from Hawaii, I thought, okay, here we go, full circle.
We're the tail end. Yeah, we're the tail end. Even we have our own time zone. So we are the very end of everybody's time zone. And I don't think that's accidental. So yeah, we are kind of picking up some of the slack. So I think, but thank you, Trish.
Thank you, Trishi.
Hello,
Diana.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good, and you?
Fine. I just asked when I had the meeting with you like 2 months ago with Michelle.
Sorry, we can't hear you. Sorry, I can't hear you. Who do you want to ask?
Yeah, do you hear me now?
It's got a real, can everybody else hear? Like it's got a, I can't hear. It's very, yeah, take your earphones off.
Wait.
No, can't hear you.
You can hear me now?
Well, there we go. That's better. Okay. Who do you want to ask? Do you want
Okay.
to ask? Who do you want to ask?
When I had a meeting with you and the council like 2 months ago, the council told me that I am a medium healer also. And after the meeting, I started to see things on the air that I never saw before, and I see like some like gray lines that go in front of me all the time when I am on the street and in my home also. But I don't know what it is, and I would like to know if you can tell me if you experience something like that, because it has been happening since then, and I don't see any progress, and I don't know what it is. And I also see like bubbles.
So I'll give you my perspective on that in my own journey,
Okay.
because I think we all see things differently, and I'm gonna suggest to you to automatic write as Jill suggested to you, because I think you're trying to get the why, and sometimes for me the why is like, oh, okay, like we all said, we all have our own different way of learning. So connect to them, connect to whoever your guides are, and say, hey, what are you showing me? You know, let me show you what Jill was talking about, and hopefully you guys can see this. So this
Oh
is
yeah, I saw that picture. Yeah.
yes. So
Yeah.
can you all see this? Can you see the energy
Yeah.
behind? Let me just click into it. I can't, but there's the energy behind Jill there, and it was actually transforming. It then changed, and this was in seconds that it changed. And
it's like
Jill Jill got the message introduction, and you know, and sometimes we don't know until we know. So ask them. Like I've seen grays, you know, and I've seen dark. I think Jill, you've also seen them, haven't you? Somebody's also seen. You've also seen like shadows, hey, Jilly, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Yes, and also it's like you sitting reading or whatever you're doing, and it's almost like somebody's walked past you.
Yeah.
But there's nobody there, but there is. It's a being that's there, that's going, dropping in and saying hello. So if you want to, as Michelle says, just quietly connect with yourself. And always, for me, I might be naive. I always assume that everything's fabulous.
And it's also about you know, how do you want to be taught? So for me, like I was sharing, I'm kind of self-taught, but every time I was doing a course, I would get bumped up, you know, because I would learn, I would take in different things that people would teach me. But as an example, a friend of mine's ex-husband was passing over, and she phoned me. She said, Mish, can I have a session? I said, sure, no problem. When I connected into him, he kept saying, I want to go home. And her interpretation and my interpretation of the message was that he was in one space, like not too far down the road from where Jill lives, and he was living in a facility, a home care, because he had dementia and he was dying. But she said like we thought he was wanting to go back to the home in which he lived. And I'd asked him, I'd said to him energetically and telepathically, come to me when you pass over. Well, I shat myself at 4:30 in the morning, literally, you know, and he's like, I'm going home. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, I need to redo this. I need to read, like, I literally did. He came to me, he said, Michelle, I'm going home. And home was going home. But what happened was she was so upset with me. She was angry with me, and rightfully so, because we both interpreted the message in a certain way. And that's when I realized I've got to let go of what I think to be my perception of what home is. And then I had to say to Spirit, okay, just talk to them, Eliana, talk to them. Ask them to show you. Okay, guys, you said, all right, I'm getting...
I talk to them all the time, yes. I talk to them, and I'm trying different meditations. And in one meditation, I had the spontaneous healing that I mail you, that I had like 3 weeks ago. I healed myself from the eye that I had 2 diagnoses for 2 years. So, and I took that like the beginning of my spiritual journey, really.
Absolutely.
Because,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's like
Onwards and upwards,
was so
babe.
great.
Onwards and upwards. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Flippin' awesome. Woohoo! Caroline, I'm just
Thank
gonna
you. Thank you so much.
pleasure. Guys, I'm gonna keep it short so that we can just keep rolling with everyone, okay?
Hi,
So
guys.
Caroline.
I had the same question to Jill. What is my aura right now?
So when they saying, if you know the color, what would you do about it?
Nothing. I mean, I just find it so fascinating.
And they're saying that basically you're a rainbow.
Really? Do you get rainbow all the time? Because that's all the colors.
It's all the colors. So they said
what-
you are a rainbow, it's your personality. And they said you're a singer and you play very many different notes with your portal of light, don't you?
Wow, that's interesting because you know what? Oh my God. Recently, I found out that my spirit animal is a rainbow lobster.
No way.
And I've never ever heard of that before. And the person, psychic medium that said it, said in 20 years, he's never seen anybody with a spirit animal that's rainbow lobster. And then you say this, I'm like,
No, well, that's making me go, woo.
right? Like,
they're saying when you sing, every single note has a different color. They said, do you not know that frequency is color? Color, sound, and light. And so they said, because you sing so much, and then they show me just like flashes of light, like the most beautiful Aurelus, what is it called? Aurelus, what are those northern lights?
Aurelius Strums, yeah.
Yeah, those things. And they're saying that this is what you have. You have like a flash of green, the blue, the yellow, and that's what surrounds you. It's
Okay, I'm going to go on to the next one because Shane, sorry guys, we've got a few more minutes left. So Ben, thanks Jilly, thanks Caroline, Jilly, Ben, sorry.
Hello, can you see me? Can you
Good
hear
morning.
me?
We can.
Good morning. I'm out in the frosty fields. I just have a really quick question for either Jill or for Michelle. Just recently, actually, a while back, I had a automatic writing thing that came through that said, as I continue my path, or at some point on my path, I'll find a hidden place. And it suddenly popped into my head, I should ask you, Michelle, or Jill, what is the first place that pops into your head as to the next place to start looking? I've had something that popped into my head, and then it popped into my head that I should ask you guys for whatever the first place is to get like a confirmation. So is there a place that pops in?
I'm getting India. Like
Oh.
it's part of your spiritual journey so North Island and then India. Jilly, what do you get? Jilly?
You're on mute, Jill.
I just see lots of baskets, lots of carpets, like Persian carpets, and sort of like a rainforest. That's all I see.
Yeah. I just saw India. Like India is part of your journey, travel.
Interesting.
You're
Okay.
a missionary. You definitely have the missionary vibe.
Yeah, I definitely vibe with that. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. And thank you for the session.
Pleasure. Thank you, Ben. Thank you. Lisa Gagel, I think. Just unmute yourself, please.
Can you hear me okay? I'm sorry, I'm in a crowded area.
Yeah, we can, no problem. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so I guess this is for any one of you that feel compelled to answer. I'm trying to make a shift in career or life's work and really would like to go more into spiritual stuff, but I'm not really sure how or what path I should take.
Andrea?
I always say the same thing. Follow your highest excitement. What is your thing that makes you so happy? So for me, it's healing. I want to heal everybody. So it's just follow that. That's your coming back to intuition, and that is your highest path. It's like what you came to do. It's always, you know it.
Mm.
You know yourself better than we do. You have the answer. So what is it that excites you, that you go like, oh my God, that's the one thing?
I do enjoy having these types of conversations with people, and I do know that I am very intuitive that way. And people I come across, even strangers, always feel compelled to share their stories. And I, if I get something for them, I will share that. But I love this. And whether it's this or talking about aliens or, the purpose of humanity, why we're here, all the things that are being uncovered, I enjoy that and learning.
Lisa, can I share something with you?
Absolutely.
Okay. It's you got to work with your nervous system at the moment, and anger in your jaw. There's somebody that you're pointing a finger at, and it's about forgiveness, and that will elevate you. Like you're ready to go into the next level, whatever that level is. But there's something that's just kind of like nudging you at the moment, and it's not spirit, it's the human. They show me you've got to go back to 2 or 3 years old, you being 2 or 3 years old, 2 to 5. There's something that happened in your life at 2 to 5 years old, because there's definitely trauma. I can feel it in your consciousness.
Oh, that's 2 to 5 is tough. I will share that at an early age. I was molested for a long time, for many years. Probably started around 5.
I'm so sorry. Can we all please just share love with Lisa right now? Just breathe in love into your hearts, and just breathe out love to Lisa's heart, please. I'm so sorry. That is hard. So just picture your little girl, Lisa. Just feel her in your heart. And may we all just keep breathing in love and breathing out love. And as we're elevating into a space of love, we decided that we'd end off with a meditation. So as we are breathing in love into every single one of our cells, and there may be somebody else that you connected with within your vibration, within their vibration, that you saw or noticed in the group, that you would like to share this energy of love with, as love is our highest vibration. And as we move into a time in space, in this collaboration of open-hearted humans, and feeling into this energy of this incredible time to be alive. And feeling into this energy of the supermoon, knowing that we are in a time of abundance, that there is enough for all of us at any time. Just notice your breath. Breathing into your solar plexus. And as Jill was speaking about the penthouse earlier on, imagine as you're breathing in, that you're breathing in this energy of love from your base, your root, all the way up into your penthouse, your crown. And as you exhale, just let go any fears that you may be sensing or feeling in and around you right now. And again, breathing in this beautiful energy of source, filling up every single cell. Feeling the light of the moon. And imagine it's a lift, your breath is a lift coming up, clearing every single energy center, starting from the basement, and it's clearing every single particle that no longer serves you. Letting go of any dramas that are coming into your field. And knowing that we're being held by Gaia. Mother Earth has us, is holding us. We are privileged. We are honored to be here on Earth right now. And connecting to all of our spirit teams. All our benevolent beings, our celestial beings. We thank them for all the guidance that we are currently receiving to navigate ourselves. And for any of our loved ones that who may be sensing or feeling or going through illnesses or hard times, again, breathing in love into this beautiful group. And we breathe out love to that human as they will feel it in their self, in their field, in their hearts. And you may be seeing a color. You may not. Just feel every single cell lighting up within your body. Noticing your thoughts. And asking your hearts to open up and expand more and more and more. And the words I'm receiving right now is Christ consciousness. And see a golden light threading, weaving between all of us and the rest of humanity. See this basket being woven wherever you live. See the grids within your home, within your land, within your state or your place or your country. See the grids connecting with this golden light. And let this golden light be fed out into the rest of Earth and the universe. And if you'd like to rub your hands together and place your hands on a part of your body that you feel is wanting this energy. Maybe your heart, it might be your head. Just be guided as to where you would like this energy to go. We thank all our beings, all our spirit teams for being here with us today. And acknowledge yourself for showing up, for being part of the change in this time of reflection, transformation, feeling the abundance that the universe is always in. It's always in flow. And may we all feel the fun in the flow. Take a few big breaths, coming back into your bodies. Coming back, and slowly opening your eyes when you're ready. Julie, a few last words.
Am I alive? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just noticing that the morning light's coming through here beautifully where I am. I'm actually sitting against a wall in my bedroom. And you see how it's just pouring through the crown chakra. And just close your eyes at any time during your day or night. And remember this light that's there for us. Look, they're showing us this incredible light. And just imagine it coming through you and connecting you with Source. Thanks, everybody, for coming. It was just delicious. Thank you.
Andrea?
I'm going to share the code, the light code that they gave me this morning, and maybe you
Sorry,
can
I forgot
just,
about that. My apologies.
yeah, but it's a nice ending, I find. Let's see if you can see it.
I'm going to put it on speaker.
And can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Just take it in. You don't need to know what it means, but it will go to where it needs to go. And you can meditate on it. And that was a gift from the Lemurians. I thank you for joining us today. It was amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. May you have the most blessed, beautiful day, full with love and grace. And thank you all for showing up. We're all incredibly grateful. Like Jill always says, and we know we couldn't do this. We wouldn't be doing this without all of us and without all of you being here and taking the time to be here. So thank you for wherever you are in the world. Thank you. Love you guys. And let's see if my Zoom does this. Love is why we are here. Yay! Let's do a heart. Come on, Rainy. Hey, look at Chris. That's awesome. Love you guys. Having a magical evening. Great sleep.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you all
Bye,
soon.
everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.